the first differentiation that generally has to be well understood is gaming and esports are actually different. And so I would hazard a guess that, and actually in WTC, where I know you do some work, like they've got a great esports program. But I would be curious if many of the students at the school are in the esports program or they just play video games. And just isn't meant as a bad thing, but largely, 98% of people under 18 play video games, mobile, console, PC, etc. But a much smaller contingent of that, again, make that delineation saying we're going to be doing this instead of, or this is our full-time sport. And I think that many times, it's actually, I'm involved in a lot of dialogue and conversations with others nationally on this topic. It is both a incredible boon and benefit, but it's also what can create sort of the distance between expectations and reality. Because I can't honestly say enough how many big brands, like real deal brands, have emailed me and said, hey, we'd like to sponsor something, right?
Yeah.
I mean, coming from other instances, it's like it's not swimming upstream without a paddle, right? We're getting gifted real relationships from real organizations. And I take a lot of, I would say, I'm trying to think of the right word, like it's very important to me and why I think we have been successful is that I take that very seriously.
Yeah.
Because I think what happens is they see from their nieces, from their nephews, from their kids, they see what you see. This is around a lot. It must be a place that our brand should go for Gen Z or others,
Sure.
which is not wrong, but that's gaming. It's not, I practice Rocket League 4 hours a night, or in a state like this, I play Street Fighter 3 hours, I practice it. This is my sport. They're actually very different. So we are both benefited because it, at the top of the funnel, brings in conversations that likely the real core audience have no business receiving. But you say, yeah. And what is so key, I appreciated when you said, like, what's rooted about, right? It's about the authenticity. Like, being upfront right away is, I think, what has allowed us anyway to maintain strong partnerships and to maintain that success, because we'd be very realistic very quickly about it is this thing and it is not that thing. But this thing still has a lot of value, but it's not 98%, right? You aren't just reaching Gen Z when you say, oh, we'd like to partner with an esports organization. And I think if, I'm optimistic that peers and others around the country, I hope, can continue to vocalize that, because I think if we can, just mainstream even that reality, could save a lot of difficulty down the line. And I hope it just honestly gives credit to the space that is occupied by it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be everybody. That has its own space. But people who really find community, like what we sit in today, or others, like, let's give them their due. Let's give them their opportunity, and let's give it a strong base. So it's an interesting place to be in. It's an interesting time. I got into it again because I was intrigued, and I also felt like it's something that really has only an upward trajectory. I think gamification, whether it's education or other spaces, I just think people like to play games. I just think it's fun, whether it's on video, whether it's in person, like whatever. And so I kind of wanted something that was moving upwards, because I spent my first 8 years in media at a publication
Traditional
company.
media, yeah.
And I was like able to see what the sinking ship looks like, and I was like, I'd like to go into something where people are optimistic that in 20 years this will be even bigger than it is today. Could be AR, could be VR, could be cloud, gaming. So that's one of the exciting parts, is I hope for us to be just ready and prepared to not only be a leader in the current state of what gaming is currently looking like. You see PS5s and 24-inch monitors and so on, but really in that future place when people are doing golf sims, racing sims, using VR for health. That's what I'm more excited about probably for the future, realistically.